Hi, congratulations on taking the first step to financial independence. In this video, I'll walk you through how to use the simple budget spreadsheet. There are three tabs to the spreadsheet. The first one is the README Setup tab. It has the written instructions on how to use the spreadsheet. The second tab is the Budget tab. This is the main tab that we'll be talking about. The third tab is a bonus. It's a goal tracker to see how your savings are progressing and your debt payoff. Now let's focus on the Budget tab. There are three simple steps to start budgeting. The first one is to create a template. A template includes all the categories that you want to personalize under incomes, bill, expenses, debt, and saving. You can also add budgets to these categories and due dates for bills and debts. The first thing to set the template is to change the currency if you want. By default, it is set to dollar. Let's say if I want to change it to pound, I click on this drop down button and I select pound. Once I do that, it gets automatically updated everywhere in this spreadsheet. I'll just keep it to dollar for now. The next is to add your own name. I'll just enter Madeline for now. You can see that the dashboard is already updated with the name. The next is to add categories under incomes, bills, expense, debt, and saving. So let me finish that. Once you've added the categories, the next thing is to assign a budget against each of them. You can see that as I add the income numbers, the left to budget number updates over here. This amount shows how much money we have to spend. And once you add budget for your bills, expense, debt, and saving, this number will reduce automatically. I can see that I still have $110 left to budget. I can either add this 110 in one of the categories, or I can leave it as a buffer for my budget period. The next is to add due dates for your bills and debts. Once you do that, you may realize that your bills are not sorted by due date. If you want to do that, just click on the first category, press shift, and then click on the last amount. You'll see that everything is selected. Do a right click, view more cell actions, sort range. I want to sort them by column K, which is the due date. So I'll select column K here. A to Z is okay because I want the first due date to come up first. I'll click on sort. It'll show this error message. Just click on OK. You can see that the bills are not sorted by the due date. Let's do the same for debt. This time I'll select column AA. Again, this error message, okay. Now you can see that the debt is also sorted by due date. This completes the setup of our template. The next step is to create a duplicate of the budget tab. We do this to ensure that we don't have to create a new template every time we start with a new budget period. So let's duplicate the budget tab. Just click on the drop down here and duplicate. You can see that it has created a copy. If you want, you can even rename this. I would like to rename this to November. Now I'll set up the budget period. So let's say I want to start from today, which is the 16th of November, till the end of November. I can even add a starting balance. So I already have $250 with me right now. I'll update that. Now, if you want, you can add a new category or update the budget for any of the existing categories. Step 3, which is to record the actual income and expenses. The first thing to do is to change this left to budget by clicking on the drop down here and then select left to spend. The amount here now shows the actual money that you have. It increases as you record the actual incomes and decreases as you record the actual bill, expenses, debt, and savings. Let's try that out. I can even tick the bills that I've already paid off so that it's easier to track. Now, before we move to expenses, let's finish up debt and savings first. For the expenses, we will not put our actuals over here. Instead, we have a complete expense transaction log in the section down here. And when you put the numbers over here along with the respective categories from this drop down, they get automatically calculated in the table above here. Let's try that out. As you update your transactions on the log, the chart and the table on the right will also get automatically calculated. You can see here that how much I am spending on each of my different categories under expenses. And the chart above gives a quick glance on where am I spending the most. For example, here I can see that 27% of my expenses are on food. When we go up, we'll be able to see that the actuals are automatically calculated for expenses from the log transaction table below. And even the amount that we have against each of these categories left to spend is also updated automatically. Now, if you put something here accidentally, let's say if I put 30, then the table will not automatically calculate anymore and your formula is lost. But there is still a way to get it back. What you have to do is look at the cell on which you have accidentally made an edit. In this case, it is U24. Go to the template sheet which has the log sign. Go to the cell U24, right click, copy, go back to your budget spreadsheet, right click on it, paste special, formula only. You can see that the original formula is restored and the number has automatically again calculated from the transaction log below. So if you accidentally make a change in a cell where you're not supposed to, you can always go back to your template spreadsheet which has the log sign and get the formula from there. Now here, if you make an accidental change, let's say if I try to put 10 over here, it'll throw me an error saying that this part of the sheet should not be edited. So I can just click on cancel and not edit it. The same log cannot be applied in any of the other sheets because when you make a duplicate of the sheet, the protections are lost. However, you can always use the method that I just explained to get back any formula that you may have changed accidentally. Now let's see how we can understand the financials better. This shows us the amount of money we have left to spend and the number of days we have to make it last. The cash flow summary gives me a quick overview of what was the budget or the expectation that I had when I made the budget versus how much have I actually earned or spent. The chart over here is a quick glimpse of the table on the left. It gives a pictorial view. The gray line shows the budget and the colored line shows whether it's higher or lower than the budget. The actual breakdown over here shows where my money is going. So out of all the money that I've used, 40% of it was used towards savings. Not bad, huh? The income summary over here shows out of all the income sources that I have, where is most of my money coming from. Like here, 63% is coming through paycheck. This covers our budgeting dashboard. If you have any query, you can always reach out to us on Etsy. We are just a message away. Thank you.